What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Who are you?
Hi, guys. I'm Sam.
I'm Phil, and we've got more Mike Tyson on the agenda for today. And this one is a catchy title. That's why we picked it. When a gang leader confronts Mike Tyson.
I know. I was like, this is a little bit scary.
I think there's another one, too. It's when a gang leader confronted Muhammad Ali. But I don't know if this is just like a, clickbait title, and we're going to find out when we get into it. Seemed like a pretty popular video, so I'm interested to see what it's all about. And we've done a few Mike Tyson videos on the channel already, and we've gotten to see how much of a phenom and intimidating he was.
He's a beast.
We did Mike Tyson's intimidating aura. Literally, one of the videos was about that.
Yep.
So if you want to watch those, you can go and check those out. We've got a playlist of sports as well, all different kinds of sports. We've done boxing, UFC, we've done racing, we've done soccer, or football if you're from Europe.
Hockey.
We've done hockey, we've done rugby.
Have you done any basketball?
We've done some Larry Bird.
Oh, yeah, Michael Jordan.
Yep. So we've got all kinds of stuff, but we do music, we do comedy as well. We do all different flavors on this channel, guys. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you enjoy this video, make sure you hit the like button as well. And we've got Mike Tyson coming up against Jake Paul real soon. So that's why we're doing some more Mike Tyson. We're getting ready for that. Hopefully is eventful, but not eventful in a bad way, where Mike gets I don't think he should be fighting. That's my personal opinion, but a lot of people will disagree with that. Anyways, let's find out about this video here, when a gang leader confronted Mike Tyson.
This gonna be a fight, Tyson, and you know it. You hit me, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you.
Welcome back to the Big Fight Recap here on BLTV Classic.
He pulled his glasses off. Did you see his eye? His eye was just hanging out his head.
Steve Harvey.
On today's video, we revisit the infamous two-fight saga between Mike Tyson and Mitch Blood Green. A genuine beef that 10 rounds of boxing couldn't squash, as the two would face off one more time on the street, this time in a much shorter affair with a decisive victor. Let's get right to it.
So his name is Mitch Blood Green, so I wonder if he's a blood.
That's what I was thinking.
Closing with a flurry. The bell is going to sound.
After Tyson's 10-round decision to James Quick Tillis in 1986, the invincibility aura from Kid Dynamite took a slight knock as the two heavyweights battled out a much closer fight than the boxing fans and bookmakers expected.
How disappointed are you that the knockout string is over?
Not at all. If anything, I feel relieved, and I'm confident if I wanted to, I could have knocked them out.
It was Tyson's first time going the distance, as he had finished his previous 19 opponents all inside the opening 2 or 3 rounds.
Crazy.
That gave some of the other heavyweight contenders an incentive to catch this teenage dynamo early, halt the hype train, and earn the highest possible payday outside of a championship fight.
Tyson said, "Gonna give me a fight. I want Mike Tyson, point blank. Michelle City Tyson. He's a I'm gonna knock him out."
Mitch Blood Green was one of the first fighters to utilize the new age of digital camcorders to get his message out there to boxing fans.
Now I'm gonna show you something. Feast your eyes on a real heavyweight.
There was no social media in those days, but local news stations and televised sports networks such as HBO would air the clips during a broadcast to gauge the fans' reaction.
The power. I ain't no joke. My name is Blood Green, and you heard my fight. Watch my smoke.
It's probably due to
This is the original Jake Paul right here. Built his boxing career off of the digital camcorder. Didn't need social media.
That's so crazy just to think about how far things have come since then.
But it is crazy, though, like I said, the relevance to today. And there's
he's going to be
YouTubers
fighting a YouTuber, basically.
that have built their platform and has allowed them to have so many different opportunities, including us, not to the same degree as Jake Paul or our boxer friend here, but it is amazing what the ability to get your message out there can do in terms of providing some other opportunities.
Build you a fan base, and for sure. He was just killing me with his
audio compression over time, but I can honestly say I have difficulty understanding what Mitch Green is saying. Two clear things were the muscle flexing and homophobic slurs, and bizarrely enough, as far as my research suggests, this was enough to land him a shot at the hottest prospect in world boxing. Growing up on the tough streets of Detroit, Mitch Green was a prominent player in 1970s New York gang warfare. By the age of 17, he had witnessed his father lose his life in a bizarre Western-style quick-draw shootout, not long before being shot twice himself, fortunately escaping with non-fatal injuries. Green tried to escape gang life by joining the UBA boxing gym in New York. But by this time, his ties to the street were too pronounced, as he was now hailed the king of New York street gangs by the NYPD for his role as gang leader in the deadly Bloods crew.
Wow.
Things slowly started to change for Mitch as his reputation as a gang leader was exceeded by that of a talented amateur boxer, the muscular 6'5" big man that was racking up copious tournament success, including several New York Golden Gloves.
From the Bronx, New York, undefeated in 5 professional bouts with 1 draw.
Green took to the professional ring in 1980 and quickly started racking up wins over journeyman and fringe contenders such as Jumbo Cummings. Champion in waiting Trevor Berbick became the first man to beat Green in 1985, where Mitch made a good account of himself, only losing by majority decision. Both Tyson and Green were on the fringe of a world title shot, so regardless of the antics, the two were on a likely collision course. The trash talk from Green just helped build more interest in the fight, which in turn certainly struck a chord with Tyson, who openly admitted to hating that ugly mother effer.
And Mike Tyson, traditionally, no robe, no socks. He says it makes him feel like a warrior, makes him feel like a gladiator.
Tyson met Green for the first time in May 1986 at Madison Square Garden. It was Tyson's first match at a prestigious boxing venue and also the first to be covered by a large television network. Yet, the occasion didn't change the traditional no robe, no socks attire. He was all business and had a personal vendetta to settle with the now not-so-confident looking Mitch Blood Green.
And was so much a factor.
It's crazy seeing Mike how sweaty he is already walking into the ring.
Like he hasn't even started yet. And
yeah, you can tell he's been warming up backstage. Sometimes that's a criticism of fighters today. It's that they come in and they're way too dry and they're not warmed up enough.
Yeah.
But you can clearly see with Mike, he's like just
dripping buckets already. He didn't even need a robe to keep warm.
Yeah. And interesting with Green, like hearing his story, obviously a pretty tough upbringing. Tyson is the same in a large degree. But with Green, I mean, it makes you wonder if he didn't have those distractions, right? Because being a gang leader, I mean...
It's a big responsibility.
But you're also surrounded by bad influences,
yes,
right?
100%.
Whether that be alcohol or drugs or, you know, taking
illegal
part...
activities.
Yeah, taking part in anything like that. But even like from your own development, right? Like whether it's the distraction, meaning you're not training as much, or from the distraction of like you might be drinking more. Like he doesn't look like he's got, you know, no body fat on him, and heavyweights, that's not generally the case. But who knows? Maybe he's drinking, right? And he's, you know, with his boys and he's partying a little too much, not sleeping as much, and the development process, right?
He's like not prioritizing like his recovery, his nutrition,
right, exactly.
like his training regimen.
So who knows how, you know, good he could have became if right from, you know, his early teenage years he was into that gym right away without any distractions.
Sounds like he didn't have a problem being distracted when trash talking though. So
yeah, maybe he learned some of that from the streets.
No distractions there, just straight into the camera.
And then the other side of it is maybe, you know, the streets hardened his mentality up more, right? So he, you know, as being a fighter, you need a hardened mentality, right? So.
Personal vendetta to settle with the now not-so-confident looking Mitch Blood Green.
And was so much a factor in the last fight that we showed you here on HBO that he didn't double up.
He's tall,
he just was a little bit lazy, especially in the later rounds. So we'll see what he does about that against Mitch Green.
Always aggressive, right in front of his man. Now we see some head movement. Quicker shot. There's the left hook I was talking about.
He did draw a warning from Luis Rivera, the referee, about holding. Green's in trouble. Good left hand by Tyson.
Everyone has a plan until they get their mouthguard punched out of the ring in the first round.
Wow.
While Green had all the physical advantages, Tyson's supreme boxing skills and speed negated the gap in size and weight, backing up Green from the opening bell, slipping and countering, forcing the much bigger man into survival mode from the word go.
Big right hand against Tillis.
He does look pretty lean.
What a shot. Woo, that is an awesome shot.
Tyson punched out Green's mouthguard again in the third, whereafter he started mocking his opponent for having a wide, gulping mouth, stalking him across the ring, landing fierce, single power punches.
The fist man throws his punch.
Ooh.
Another big left
nice
hook.
left.
Tyson there, good
nice
uppercut.
uppercut.
Eventually.
Nice body
Another
shot.
couple body shots. Well, he's smiling. Tyson is smiling, but see, Green has those fast hands.
The fight became so routine by the closing stages, the crowd knew they were witnessing a foregone conclusion. Tyson himself appeared to have his mind elsewhere as he bizarrely kissed his trainer, Kevin Rooney, while he was trying to deliver him intricate strategies and details regarding the fight.
Well, Kevin Rooney is in there and just jabbering away 100 miles a minute. Mike Tyson leaned over and just kissed him.
Tyson closed the show, trying to score the knockout, but Green's disinclination to engage allowed him to grab and clinch his way to safety, resulting in him losing 9 out of 10 of the rounds on every different scorecard.
But we knew deep inside that I was going to win this fight so easy because of his style. He's a gang tough opponent, and he took some fairly decent shots. But as you know, I won comfortably, and I didn't try for the knockout, and I used a great deal of discipline in there, not knocking him out.
Tyson claimed he carried Green the 10-round distance on purpose to punish him for as long as possible. And whether it was true or not, Green's personal pride was hurt, and he was willing to do whatever it took to restore a sliver of respect amongst his peers. Green retired from boxing after the Tyson loss and returned to the street to earn a living from selling drugs. He always planned to one day get Tyson back in the ring, but as his years of inactivity ensued, Tyson progressed to one of the most dominant heavyweight champions of all time, undefeated and undisputed. The days of fighting lingering contenders such as Mitch Green were over. It wasn't until a couple of years after their fight that the two would meet again, this time in Green's element, the street. In the early hours of August 23, 1988, Mitch Green got wind that Tyson was shopping at a local clothing store close by to where he ran things on the street. Tyson had traveled a fair distance to pick up a luxury leather jacket handmade by one of his friends over at Dapper Dan's. As Tyson was chilling in the store with his entourage, Mitch Green burst through the door on his own, high on angel dust, demanding Tyson either give him a rematch or empty his pockets right there on the spot. Tyson, of course, no stranger to altercations on the street, dragged Mitch Green outside and pummeled him to the ground multiple times. Spectators said that the fight was short, violent, and very one-sided. In fact, it was no longer than 15 to 20 seconds, but that's more than long enough for the heavyweight champion to inflict severe damage. There is no footage of the fight, regardless of the clickbait you see on YouTube, but there were many accounts of what happened that all aligned, all except Green's account, where he claimed Tyson sucker punched him and ran.
Yeah.
Who threw the first punch here?
He did. He sucker punched me because he's with his friends, you know. And when he hit me, like I said, I couldn't get a chance really get to him like I wanted because everybody was like pulling me, you know, holding me, like so he could get away from me, so he could get away. And he ran from me.
Green was certain the Tyson scuffle, which became mainstream.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I don't believe Tyson ran from anybody.
Literally.
I even in like Tyson's age today, he probably would never run from anybody.
Yep, not believable.
And it just so happened that this guy showed up at the store, and then Tyson sucker punched him. You know, it's like, what did you come to say? Hello? How
literally,
are you?
like you just tracked this man down, like.
Yeah, and then somebody obviously had to give up that Tyson was going there because I don't think Tyson would have announced it. So somebody probably said, "Oh yeah, so you know."
Little snitch.
Yeah, somebody was giving that guy a heads up, one of his homeboys, and I mean, I don't know where the high off angel dust thing came in. Like, how would they even know that?
Somebody also probably snitched.
Yeah, unless somebody said, "Oh yeah, he was, you know, doing something before he came in there." Anyways, unfortunate end to that story of him. I mean, we got a couple minutes here, but unfortunate ending to Green's career, where you know he had gotten so far to the point that he fought the best, arguably one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, and he got beat, but he never got knocked out, which is something that you should be proud of against Mike Tyson.
He was
right?
also huge. Like when you looked at him beside Tyson, like he's like a big guy.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that probably played to his advantage in a lot of respects, being, you know, street king and being a boxer, because to me his technique was pretty sloppy. Yeah. Watching him versus Mike, you can see the head movement, the footwork, his punches. Like Green was seemingly getting by on his physical attributes, very much so in leading up to the Tyson fight. But you saw when he got to Tyson, where somebody is not only, you know, really strong and powerful, but has the technique down as well. He was, you know, he was a fish out of water. So
yeah, but I mean, obviously that speaks to your character, and you know, if you're cut out for it, if like after you lose once, you're gonna be like, I quit, I'm gonna go run the drugs in the streets, instead of being like, I obviously need to get better and go back to the gym and train more.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say the character. I would say that unfortunately influences, I think, play a big role. So, you know, if he's been influenced as a teenager about, you know, being in this street life and, you know, losing his dad, which is another, you know, huge issue. and then also, still being somewhat into it. Like, what are you going to do when you lose, like they alluded to, when you get, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but apparently I'm not allowed to talk to you because I'm not speaking to Tiffany. Anyways, as I was saying, you lose, what do? Your ego takes a hit. You try to go back into the area of your arena to gain respect back, right? And you got humiliated on TV. And, part of that whole, mantra of the alpha is now something that you're like, okay, I have to find something to get me back to that. And his influences, like I said, would have been all around him in a negative way, not what you said of get back in the gym, start working hard. He probably didn't listen to any coaches or anything like that at that time. So anyways, unfortunate end to his story.
Because everybody was like pulling me, holding me, like so he could get away from me, so he could get away, and he ran from me.
Green was certain the Tyson scuffle, which became mainstream news around the world, would add enough public intrigue to get his rival back in the ring. But Mitch had already burnt his bridges among the promoters in the sport, with his violent threats to Don King in the past already shadow banning him from ever earning any serious money in the ring again. After Green's failed attempts to get the rematch with Tyson, he filed a civil lawsuit for $20 million due to the injuries he suffered during their fight. The former gang leader came away with one small W to coincide with a long list of L's, winning the case and being awarded $45,000, close to what his purse was during their professional fight in 1986.
Yeah, I remember seeing Mitch Green's eye after that, and it was like,
he broke his socket. Broke the eye socket. Yeah.
He broke his eye socket.
Yeah. Eye socket. You gotta hit really hard to do some like that, right?
Green returned to the ring 7 years later, but at that point he was a shell of his former self and was beaten by journeymen with losing records until he hung him up for good in 2005. As of 2022, Green is still a large-as-life character, but now employs his energy into his love of Christianity. He still has a gripe with Tyson, but I think it's fair to say the two have now moved on, and whenever the topic is brought up today, they both make light of their infamous 30-year feud.
That didn't work. The boy scared to death. That's we had the street fight. The boy scared to death.
Oh, wait a minute. Didn't y'all have a street fight, Mitch?
For the ring, for the street. Thinking the man would do something about it. He wouldn't do nothing. Oh, man, he freaked me out.
Did you know that actually Tyson and Sal are good friends and he comes to the show? He knew, look at Tyson. You see that? He got Lord
That's funny.
This guy's thinking, not again.
He's like literally sitting there in the audience. What are you going to say? What are you going to say about me?
Well, I mean, at least towards the end of his life, more recently, a couple of years ago, it seemed like he was in the right direction there. And,
hopefully no longer selling drugs.
Yeah, and lived a lot longer than his dad did. So you can say that, right? And, like I said, fought a heavyweight champion of the world, didn't get knocked out. So all is not lost.
Yeah, for sure.
Now he's got a story to tell those younger individuals not to get involved in the gang violence.
Yeah, and I guess the title was true. A gang leader did confront Tyson.
Was an actual gang leader. And, I guess you can overlook Tyson, though, too, right? Like, he could have been intimidated. And that's probably a reason why a lot of other fighters lost to that guy.
Yeah.
Because they're probably intimidated as soon as they walk in the ring.
Yeah.
But it seemed like it was the opposite. Tyson was intimidating this guy, which is pretty wild when you think about, like I said, he's walking in the ring with a gang leader and he's like, I don't give a shit who you are.
Well, he's like a pretty intimidating person himself. So
He is. He came from a rough upbringing too. So anyways, that was when Mike Tyson confronted a gang leader and it worked out in his favor.
Yes.
Let us know if you enjoyed this video by hitting that like button, hit a comment down below, hit the subscribe button, join us on this journey. We got 2 more videos coming tomorrow. We'll see you then.
Thanks for watching it.